This story starts out with the fact that my little brother Trey is a badass. He started the Great Divider out up in Montana on July 13th and made it all the way to Steamboat Springs via bike, where he waited a few days for me to get there and join him early this August. My Aunt Lori and Uncle Dave were kind enough to drive me all the way to Steamboat Springs so that I could join Trey for the Colorado portion of the bikepacking trip. We ended up making a route of our own that combined the Great Divide with the San Juan mountain range. Sit back and relax as we take you through the 6 days of ride time we experienced together. Here we go.
The fish going through there.
About 2 hours into our first day of riding, Trey almost went to war with a horse.
Look at his neck.
Thankfully, the rancher arrived right before things turned ugly. After the angry horse, we got on our way and overcast skies started to cool up a little bit, but it was still very hot outside. The push to Kremmling was tough, but it was absolutely necessary for all the resources the town had that the campground didn't. Overall, in retrospect, it was probably good that we didn't stay at the campground because we needed a lot of supplies and a better night's sleep than we probably would have got there.
Like a mile from the top, there was like a aggressive heat from that time. That's like the hottest hotel.
Hello.
Lick my nipples.
You gonna jump? Oh, big jump. Good job.
Day 2 started with patterned hills that created a sort of deja vu as we rode through them. It was quite hot yet again, and I was looking forward to climbing up to higher elevation for some cooler weather. After Trey ran into me with his Arrow handlebar, we got on our way down the descent, hoping to get to Frisco by the end of the day. We had a few road miles and the weather was looking bright. Well, was looking bright for a while, and then we ran into a heavy storm. Thankfully, we were already on pavement by then, so we didn't risk getting mudded out. I woke up on day 3 feeling amazing, and after a wonderful breakfast and in copious amounts of coffee, we got on our way. We passed through Breckenridge and then started climbing towards Boreas Pass. We decided we wanted a little bit more, so we decided to hop on some single track while we were at it. After a quick lunch stop at the top of the pass, we began our descent downhill towards Hartsel. Well, I guess all descents are downhill, but this one was really downhill, and we had a high average speed pretty much all the way to Hartsel. High enough that I didn't really get the camera out because I needed both hands on the handlebars. It was quite the experience to stay in the town of Hartsel. With a population of just 38 people, the small town feeling was larger than ever. The local bar owner was kind enough to let us camp behind their restaurant that evening. From Hartsel to Salida, it was our shortest day. We only had about 2,500 feet of climbing, so the average speed was pretty high. The descent down into Salida was one of my favorites all trip. Not knowing how far you're going to ride and continuing to venture into the unknown is a special feeling. The feeling of self-sufficiency paired with a beautiful landscape reminds you of all the good that you've had in your life and all the good that's to come. Been out here for 9 hours. Trey's dying somewhere up the hill. There he is. Good job, Trey. Yee-hoo! We were approaching 100 miles for the day, and we're planning on camping at any spot we saw fit. The weather had held off all day, but it looked like a big storm was rolling in that evening. As we hit mile 100, we saw a sign for the Cathedral Bike Ranch, an oasis for bikepackers out in the middle of the Colorado wilderness that we had no idea existed. The timing was poetic, and stumbling upon such a place after a massive day was truly special. The hosts were extremely kind, and let us stay in a cabin for the evening. Our suspicions about a big storm rolling in were correct, and it absolutely dumped that night. I was relieved we weren't camping out in the storm. Everything fell into place perfectly, and I couldn't have been happier about it.
Everything. Everything at once.
Yeah. What'd you think of today, Trey?
We recorded. Today was long. Today was fun. We avoided the rain. We found a cool place to stay.
This will be a screenshot for a selfie. Trey's Salsa Cutthroat and my Ibis XZ both had moments where they were the right tool for the job, but overall, they really evened out as far as performance, speed, and utility over the route. I thought that was super interesting considering one is a gravel bike meant for bikepacking, and the other is, well, a World Cup cross-country bike that's probably pretty angry I put all this stuff on it. On our final day, 5 of the 7 hours we were moving, we were climbing. It felt like the final boss of a video game. Everything had led up to this moment, and the last challenge was seeing if we could successfully pedal up and over Engineer Pass.
This is absolutely a grand finale, like a 16% climb at over 12,000 feet. And here's Trey doing it with like a 36-40 gear ratio. It's insane. Wow. Highest I've ever been on a bike. Yeah. Did you get that switchback? Dude, that switchback was tough.
On all the riding I had done up to this point, the highest point I had ever reached was around 11,500 feet. That's usually because I'm riding in Utah, but here in Colorado, you can still climb an additional 2,000 feet past 11 pretty easily. And that was quite something on a fully loaded bike this deep into a day.
Trey getting rattled to the bone down this. This is a chunky road. Nice.
Our final descent down into Silverton was bittersweet. I wasn't ready to be done yet I was very happy we had arrived. The sense of accomplishment and being able to share so many moments and emotions with my brother is something I'll never forget. Bikepacking had become day-to-day life for the last week, and I was used to the feelings that brought along with it. Because of that, I've been able to take back so many life lessons and new perspectives. It was a healthy reminder that we only have so much time on this planet, and we better use it how we see best. Thanks for watching.